Welcome, willkommen.
Bienvenue, добро пожаловать, витamy,
Benvenuto.
ようこそ
To This Week in Voice Live.
Emerson, how are you?
Bradley, good morning. I am fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing fine, doing fine. I'm hailing from Omaha, Nebraska, where in about 3 hours' time, going to go see if Vanderbilt can keep it going. They got to win. They can't lose any more games.
Well, I'm sure with you there, and given your history in the games that we play, your team will do pretty well.
They're doing all right. We'll see if they can keep it going. But the College World Series rumbles on. Now, where are you today?
I am in my office here at Henson Scout Reservation, out on the eastern shore of Maryland. This is our first week of Scout Camp. We have about 400 young men and women and adult leaders, and they are just wrapping up the week. So today is the final day of camp. We have some campfires this evening, and then we'll send them off tomorrow. So if anybody out in the audience, if anybody is looking for something fun for their scout to do this summer, we still have plenty of space available in the 4 remaining weeks of Scout Camp. So we'd love to see everybody.
There you go. There you go. What story you want to start with first?
Well, yeah. So for everybody out in the audience, happy Friday. We're going to follow our normal agenda. We got some news. Gonna have an interview with Rod Blair of Action.ai, which is a fascinating company. Excited to talk about. And then we're gonna play some dictionarium. We'll see if we can dethrone Bradley as the reigning champion.
Wait, didn't I lose last time? I thought I lost.
Oh, you may have, but you've won overwhelmingly the past many times. So I don't know if that takes you off the throne. Yeah, why don't you go first?
Sure. So let me see if I've got if I close the article, I can just talk to it. Oh no, here it is. Because I like to read the headline. So this is from voicebot.ai. I'm going to read this headline. Coldplay releases new song as an Alexa alarm skill. So this article in VoiceBot talks about the initiative between Coldplay and the band and Warner Music Group and Skill Creative, who we know quite well, to essentially further leverage Coldplay's music in the voice AI realm. They put out a tweet that's in this article. It says, if you're in the United States, you can now ask your Alexa device to wake you with the acoustic version of Higher Power, which is a new song of theirs. Just say, Alexa, set the Coldplay Higher Power alarm tone. Parentheses, we're hoping it will be available in more countries later in the year.
I think they missed a good opportunity to use their song Clocks as the one that the alarm plays.
I was thinking they missed a good opportunity to use their song Trouble in the alarm, but
that's after you hit the snooze button a few times.
Yeah. Look, this is music to my ears, because this is exactly what needs to be happening with these mainstream voice ecosystems. We talked on this show about how trust is an issue with big tech and how that's reshaping the landscape. It makes it to where there's a lot of incentive for a company like Amazon to go out and find partnerships with other large companies and other large entities like a Coldplay. Coldplay would have trouble going to a Mycroft and doing a deal. Alexa is about the only place they can go. I just think it makes a lot of sense. It creates more inertia for the Alexa ecosystem, and it's a great blueprint for the type of creativity that artists of different types need to be bringing to this voice assistant landscape to make more money.
Yeah, it is I like that term creativity, because it is a use case that I've not heard of on the main smart speaker platforms. I mean, certainly you can, with your phone, you can set a song to play as an alarm. You can do it like as a routine with Alexa, but but not a custom skill, kind of custom developed capability, and it makes me wonder then beyond just Coldplay, but beyond even music, what that type of blueprint could be used for as well. I mean, imagine I'm not up on children's cartoons, but imagine if you could have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or SpongeBob SquarePants or somebody set as the alarm beyond just the regular jingles, and it really is a neat sort of greenfield opportunity for bands and other entertainers.
Completely agree. I think that bands ought to take a look at this and start copying it. And as long as it's well known enough, I think that's exactly what might happen.
Yeah, certainly.
So what you got?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk. We've talked a lot about social audio. I wanted to talk about the new wave of monetized social audio. So Twitter just released ticketed Twitter Spaces, which is pretty neat. It's certainly been a long time coming. Facebook had not jumped the gun, but had gone, I think, first to market with that capability. But Twitter Spaces gives you a ton of flexibility in how you can charge people to join your stream, to join your space, and they let you pick how much money. It can be, I think, between $1 and $1,000. They let you pick how many attendees you would like to have, and it really enables people. I think of like comedians. It enables them to have almost micro concerts or micro broadcasts and reach a potentially very, very high paying targeted audience. I like that they set the quality bar pretty high. You have to have at least 1,000 followers. So it's not going to be flooded with people, trying to nickel and dime unaware attendees. And they actually take a pretty reasonable fee. I'd be curious, based on your experience. They take, I think, 3% for the first $50,000, and then it jumps up to 20%. So similar type of pricing to their super follows, and they're talking about finding some way to to donate the money or to immediately cash out. It's a neat sort of immediate revenue stream on top of Twitter Spaces that they already had. And I'm sure Discord, I'm sure Clubhouse are going to be following soon. They're actually in the Google Accelerator. There's a fellow alumni, shout out to Needle. Ayinde over at Needle has a really slick mechanism for owning and monetizing some of that content. So certainly seems to be the way that people go, and I wonder how well the really heavy, aggressive Twitter community is going to adapt to some of this gated and paid content.
I think this is bad news for a lot of people. This is definitely bad news. This is bad news for Clubhouse for sure. So, I made the analogy over the summer between Clubhouse and that 90s song Smooth, Santana with Rob Thomas, where it was all you ever heard for one summer, and then you never heard it again because people were too mad to play it, like it was just so overplayed.
Oh yeah.
Clubhouse cannot go where Twitter is going with this. And this is exactly the core problem Clubhouse has. For people who add social audio as a layer on top of an existing service, that's the way it ought to be. It's like selling ketchup by itself. It's like ludicrous. You sell the burger and then give the ketchup away. It's like you're not going to sell social audio by itself. It needs to be layered on top of something else for it to really work. That's the way I feel about it. And so Twitter and LinkedIn and Slack and some of these other ones are really well positioned to take advantage of that. So I think it's a real bad news day for Clubhouse. However, I also think it's not fantastic news. It's not as good of news as it ought to be for Twitter. And the reason why is that Twitter has been it seems like Twitter's been in a slumber for the last decade.
Yeah.
People have been asking them for, can we edit our tweets? They've been asking for content moderation. They've been asking for, and they've got nothing. Now, Twitter's doing a bunch of stuff. Why? Because their audience is decreasing incredibly rapidly. And people are tired of it. And, yes, a lot of conservatives have left, but a lot of liberals have left too, just because it's not a domain for free speech. So I don't know how this ends up playing out. I think it's ultimately a great blueprint for somebody else. I probably will try it at some point and see how it works, but very interesting kind of post-pandemic chapter 1 development with how this social audio thing is playing out.
Yeah. I actually hadn't even thought about the impact of the pandemic as well. That's going to be interesting as people. I wonder if some of this social audio will fall by the wayside as people start going back into an office, start having, physical
It already
humans
has.
to talk to and listen to.
Yeah, it already has. It's already started. Clubhouse numbers are falling through the floor, and the only way they can claim expansion is by moving into international markets, which they're trying to do as rapidly as they possibly can.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it develops over the next couple of months, especially as Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, as everybody here in a month or so starts heading back.
Let's get our man Rod up in here.
Yeah. Let's see.
Rod, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Bradley. Thanks for having me here. It's good to listen into the conversation there. A lot of interesting points.
We appreciate your time and appreciate you being part of the show. And Emerson, if you don't mind, if I just sort of take it away. Yeah. Rod, you've got a fascinating business, and if you don't mind, just start by telling us who you are, where you are in your case, and a little bit about action.ai.
Of course, I'd be happy to. Yes, so my name's Rod Blair. I'm the Partnership Director for Action.ai. We're a company based primarily in the UK, although we do have a global remit of customers. And what we really created, or what we've developed, is the most advanced conversational AI solution for enterprise. And our focus is on powering delightful, automated customer experiences in which the customer is understood first time, every time. And that's something that's not really been available up until fairly recently. So whether a customer chooses to interact with a business via voice, text, any platform, even down a phone line, these experiences can revolutionize interactions between businesses and their customers and deliver quite transformative levels of automation. So for a business, fantastic. You've got that opportunity where you can have hyper personalization for that customer interaction. There's an unparalleled returns on investment, but everything is resting on that customer being able to have that interactivity with the business and an extraordinary customer experience.
I'm curious, hearing you say the customer's understood the first time, every time is. To use Bradley's phrase, is music to my ears. At Bespoken, we spend a lot of time talking to customers, trying to educate the market about how critical that speech recognition accuracy is, that it's the most frustrating part of any conversational experience when it doesn't understand you. Unlike in a mobile app, people internalize things not working and not understanding them. They don't assume that it's the bot that's broken. They assume it's it's something they did wrong. I'm curious, do the enterprises that you talk to, are they aware of that as a problem? Do they have the language and vocabulary to know that's an issue, or are they more focused on just getting something out the door and need to be sort of handheld along that path?
Yeah, I mean, the companies that have actually created something already or tried to create something already, they're actually the easiest business case for us. Purely because they've already tried it, they've given it a try, and don't get me wrong, a lot of these bots are incredibly good. They take a lot of time to create, an investment to create them to give that customer interaction. But customer or human language has so many intricacies within it. It has, people use different vernacular, they use slang, they use different terms for different meanings. they maybe just don't want to ask one initial question. They want to have follow-up questions. And they want the bot to be able to remember, okay, I said I liked red cars, when maybe they might get asked later on, and they might want to reply, what color of car would you like to hire from a rental company? So there's a variety of different ways that humans communicate, and being able to distill all that meaning is very difficult for any type of bot. And this is where Action AI step in to try and sort of distill that meaning and make it fully understood so that the customer gets that one time, that they're in touch with the business, they're able to be understood.
Rod, there was a time, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when a show like this would have been talking about when are we going to see great use cases for voice? Okay. We had Alexa, Google was just starting, and, we had kind of trivial implementations. But the question was, when are we going to see great use cases emerge? And now you fast forward to where we are today, and the call center, which is such a big part of your business, has been shown to be a dominant use case for voice, and the payback is evident and relatively immediate. And it's almost to the point now where a call center that doesn't have a solution like an action.ai, Action AI in it, is not just behind, way behind. Moving forward, what do you think the next shoe to drop will be? What vertical or what industry are you looking at and saying that's the next one? That one's going to move faster than the other ones. Maybe it's hospitality. Maybe it's automotive moving a little bit faster. What industry are you seeing in on from where you sit?
I think the majority of the investment that we're seeing in the industry seems to be in the finance sector, mixed with the healthcare sector. There's two different usage cases or multiples within each of those verticals. But I would say they tend to be the two main uses for this type of, and the most developments and investment that is taking place. And it's quite exciting, different ways that people can interact with their bank, their finance house. And then also when you're in a medical situation and you need maybe support, help, it could be anything that you need in a medical situation, being able to get that and being able to not have to wait on a line on hold for however long it might be, having that type of situation is perfect for this type of technology, and being able to develop the knowledge. Because something that's, you mentioned several other formats, Alexa, Siri, etc. They have a fantastic use within the community and some excellent possibilities. But unfortunately, they've got to have a very sort of broad knowledge of everything, but to a very sort of low level. What we tend to do is to focus and to sort of almost like I use that word hyper-personalize, is to focus on exactly what that business needs. So we don't, if you're phoning your bank, you can't really ask it what's the capital of France and what's the weather in Tokyo. It doesn't. It's not going to understand that. It may eventually, but it's not created to be able to understand that. But if you want to ask, I want to pay John Smith, $1,000 and pay it next Tuesday, as long as I've got that money in my account, then perfect. It'll work fine. So it's making sure that customer has the focused solution for what they need, and not so much this broad range. So I think the two technologies can work in parallel.
Have you had any have you had any significant challenges or differences that you've identified between the different interfaces between, let's call it, web and mobile chat, mobile or smart speaker driven voice, and telephone-based IVR?
Yeah, I would say the web side of things, and on an app and everything like that's fine. The quality of the voice that can be translated from a human has worked well. But the challenge, and it's easy for a sales guy to say, but the challenge for the technical people when it came to trying to distill language from a cell phone or from any sort of telephony type solution has been incredibly difficult. And it's something we're still working on to make it as perfect as possible. But you've got a decrease in the frequency of the language or the voice that is going through, that sound that's going through. So it's very difficult to put everything together and to get full meaning of what the customer is actually requiring. But we've got some fantastic people on board at Action AI, really good research group that's been able to understand more about what the customer says when it's over the telephone line, so that it can fully understand and distill that language and get the full meaning so they can get that first time response that they require.
I love one of the examples that we like to give in some of our presentations from a company we worked with that had was doing power outage reporting, a utility company. And one of the classic challenges is if I call and I say I have an outage and my address is 123 20th Street. Does that mean that it's house number 123 on street number 20, or does it mean it's house number 12 on street number 320? Those things are tough for people, for humans to understand, let alone for bots at this point.
Yeah, and it's something we've even noticed. I mean, you can tell I've got a Scottish accent. The rest of the team, a lot of them are based in England, and they use terms and slang that I wouldn't use ever. And when I tried to use initially with some of the testing we were doing, I would try and use their language and it would fail completely. But I would use my language and it would work perfectly. So it's something it's a lot of delicacies in the way that things are created and how it understands as many types. Take, for instance, the US. There's so many individual accents, even between both of you there. There's so many different accents that are possible. And to make sure that everybody is understood is a difficult task to put together. Like I say, it's easy for a sales guy to say it.
All right, Emerson, we ready to play some Dictionarium?
Yeah, let's do it. Rod, I put there in the little private chat, I put the code. If you want to head to jackbox.tv and type in that code. And everybody out in the audience, if you would like to help judge, you too can head to jackbox.tv. If you do so, I'll give you the secret code here in a second. If you do so, you'll want to pay attention to your phone and judge on your phone, because there is about a 15 or 20 second delay between what you see on the screen and what's happening in real life. So let's go like this. All right. So for everybody out there, that code is HV as in Victor, NA. HVNA. And let's do this.
Bonjour, hello, salut! Welcome to the Dictionarium. It's a video game that's pretending to be a book. Oh yeah, check out this crew. Very good. In the Dictionarium,
Right,
you will create a dictionary entry for a made-up word, and you will win if your answers get the most votes. Oh, and for anyone watching, join the audience. Just input the room code and play along. Let's begin.
Rod, so the first round, it gives us a silly fake
First
word.
things first. I'm sending a word to your device.
We have to come up with a definition for it.
Write the definition for this word on your device.
So you want to look at your phone. Oh, jeez.
My gym teacher used to yell
if you
this
haven't seen
word
a
at us
pop-up,
to make
Rod,
us
you
climb the
just
rope
refresh
faster.
the page and,
Yeah.
oh, man.
You might not be able to use all your favorite letters. Choose wisely.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, this is going right into the fire here.
Come on, time is almost up. Okay, let's see them.
All right, so we have ohowing. What you're doing when someone gives you a challenging task that you have no clue how to complete. We we have a prototype ship developed by the Jedi Allowance based on the Empire saying, oh, wow. And oh, how does this plane fly?
Voting time. Pick your very favorite
All right,
definition.
And now we vote on which one we think is the best. Everybody out in the audience can also vote.
And remember, you can award bonus points to the ones that stole your heart. And the winning definition
let's see.
to be
I think I know
recorded
which one was
forever in the
Bradley.
dictionarium is...
Yes.
Oh,
I thought that was somewhat creative.
that was a good one. And, Bradley, it would appear that you are off to an early lead.
This dictionary
I'm
entry
sensing
needs some synonyms to
sensing
flesh it
a
out.
theme.
Here,
Hey,
Flesh
as we
trial.
saw last time, a good start doesn't mean
now
it.
it's your
Yeah.
turn. Make up a word that matches the definition on your device. This is a quick round. Lickety splickety, just write whatever you think it is. I want to see these words.
Yeah.
Choose the word that best fits the definition.
Right.
Sci-Fighter is pretty good.
Yeah. I like that one.
all of the.
Yeah, prototype ship developed by the Jedi Alliance based on the Empire saying, oh, ow, we've got Sci-Fighter, ooh, whoa, or
Death, or maybe that's the third
And the
star.
official new synonym is...
Yeah.
All right,
That's
I'm
a good
back
one.
in the game.
I need to catch up here. Oh.
Now we have a brand new word and
In many
definition.
ways, this is the only
Let's
round that
use it.
matters right here.
Right.
Write a sentence using the word on your device. It may help you to think of the sentence as a word caterpillar, or I don't know, maybe not.
Rod, are
Please
you a
submit
Star
right now,
Wars
or
fan?
I'm going to be so sad.
Oh, yeah. Totally, yeah.
Oh, good. That'd be
Ooh,
pretty
I'm
great.
This is my
jealous to see
favorite part of
these.
this game, Rod, by the way.
I could use Action AI solution, but instead tried somebody else in my call center and got blown up by my competition, sending a Sci-Fighter. To add insult to injury, the Rebel Alliance brought down the 4th Death Star by a squadron of Sci-Fighters. And Sci-Fighter full arm to go.
The sentences are in. Time to vote.
This is good.
Oh, let's see.
And the champion
Oh.
sentence is...
Oh,
Really? Oh, I
Rod, you
can't even spell. Yeah.
you might have this one.
Here it is, your dictionarium entry. It is so special I could cry, but I cried all my tears this morning when I watched Oprah interview Big Bird. But now, let's see who got the most points.
Oh, oh.
So close. So close.
Oh, man.
I just called in the
Please return to me
Sci-Fighter.
soon. I just found a dozen words hiding in my shag carpeting.
Good,
Well done.
good game, guys.
Yes, good game, good game. Rod,
Thanks, Rod.
pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for the time.
Thank you,
this morning
yes.
to be here.
It's been a pleasure. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, and how can people find out more about Action AI?
Yeah, you can go down to our website, action.ai. It's got most information and everything, and full of links to get in touch with us. But we'll look forward to speaking with some people, hopefully soon.
Sounds
To
great.
everybody watching Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you're at, go Doors.
Oh.
I'm trying to get this right for my camera. Can't do it. Go Doors. College World Series, 1:00.
Good luck.
Bradley, great seeing you. Rod, great seeing you. Everybody out there, have a great weekend.